Shalom, everyone. We are now recording. This is our third session in the HPCT-CAE at home. And once again, congratulations for being here. Yasher Koach. It's amazing that you're all participating in this, and I'm so proud of you. We did a lot of work in the previous two sessions, the Matana Tokef, which was the first session, and the 10 top hits of the second session. We'll spend a moment to review. V'rosh Hashanah yikatefun uv'yom tzom kippur uv'yom tzom kippur yechatemun. V'rosh Hashanah yikatefun V'yom tzom kippur, v'yom tzom kippur, yechatemun. And we did the top 10 melodies. And Zoreinu lechayim, melecha v'zachayim, and sefer chayim b'racha v'shalom, u'farnasa tova, and Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki Banu Masim, and Adonai, Adonai, Erachum Mechanun, Erech Apayim, Erach Chesed Ve'yemet, and Simcha Le'artzecha, V'saso leirecha, and v'chol ma'aminim shehu lai 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 lai. But I didn't do our Chazan's melody, and I'm going to do that with you right now. We have teed up for us here the SoundCloud, maybe not, Google Chrome, SoundCloud, here we go, and it is right over here. Bechol.
וכל מאמינים שהוא אל אמונה, הבוחן ובודקים זה נסתרות. וכל מאמינים שהוא בוחן כליות הגואל ממוות שהוא גואל חזק.
I'm not going to spend time teaching it, but la 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 You know what? I think it's a better tune than although we know that the second one probably more. It's just a little baked in more to us. But so you'll have to. It's hard to remember. It was hard for me to remember it last week, but now that I've got it, my memory's jogged, and it's a little livelier, bouncier tune, and we like that. Okay, etayu gon beyaktira keter meluka yalla la 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 yalla la 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 arash sifateinu yalla la 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 yalla la 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 and yitgadal v'yikada shemehei rabam yalla la 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 and hayom.
היום, 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 היום,
היום, Hayom Teinu. Amen. Beautiful. Okay. That is, it's all on the website, as you can see, all on our SoundCloud platform, with more coming up. There'll be more coming up next week. Okay, Today we are going to do the beginning and endings of the Amida. All beginnings of the Amida are basically the same, and all endings of the Amida are basically the same. A couple of differences here and there, but they're not things that we really need to get worked up about. For our Amida, I'm going to use the Musaf Amida on page 141. And the way I want to introduce it is to say that as you have already experienced in these last two lessons, there are a number of dominant musical motifs in the high holidays. The word motif is a musical term for the basic phrase, the basic kind of phrase. So for example, la 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 la, that itself, that's a phrase that it appears in the evening service, and from time to time it appears, I will do it before blowing the shofar. Before blowing the shofar, it's Baruch Atah, and then Shechianu, Shechianu. And the reason why I do it is very, very, simple. It's a joyful melody, as we mentioned last time, and it's a balance to the awe, the minor key, the minor awe. Okay, so we have a number of motifs in what we're going to do today on page 141, the beginning of the Amida. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna chant it for us, and then I'll give it an opportunity to do it slowly. And I'm going to do it in the sparest way possible. The Chazan has it on the website. It's a little more ornamented than you need. Okay, and you'll understand immediately what I mean by ornamented music. I mean, it's simple music is the notes basically. Ornamented is going all over the place. Okay, basically. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Hagadol Hagibor Behanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Bekoneh Hakol V'zocher Chazdei Avot Umevi Goel Livnei Vneihem Leman Shemo B'Ahavam. So that's the first paragraph, and you can hear just by listening, and I'm sure it's familiar to you. This is a the melody of the Amida prayer, and so we always want to end up at da 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 da, and you can go all over the place. Da 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 da. Ba da 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 ba ba. So the main part of this is just knowing and so what I've done in these classes is try at least to interpret the music as how it expresses this, and for the sake of brevity and not to go into it as if we were together, and I do this more as a conversation, but I'm going to cut to the chase here. We're starting out with Baruch Atah Adonai. So that sounds very bright. It's a major da da da, and major is symbol. It heralds. It's a welcome. It's an opening. We are opening the Musaf, and it's a very delightful opening. And we are saying, here everyone is, da 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 da. And to not ornament it, it would be da da ba baru Atah Adonai. And it reminds me of a Rafi song. You're my, how does it go? It goes, my name is. He has a song, a children's song. about names. And as he goes up in the third phrase, Baru Ata Adonai. And now we're still in major. Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu. Now it's going to go a little more. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov. You see, that's the end of the phrase. Da 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 ba ba dam. Hagadol. Now it's going to go a little bit into some awe and some fear, because we're talking about God who's great and strong and fear, full of awe. Hagadol, Hagibor veHanora, El Elyon. Going to go back to some brightness. Gomel Chasadim Tovim. He is so compassionate to us, God. V'koneh hakol, v'zocher chasdei avo, u'mevi goel livnei vneihem, leman shemo b'yavad. He brings redemption, and redemption is good. So we're giving it a lift here. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Baruch Ata Adonai Elohei, Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Hagadol, Hagibor veHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot, u'mevi goel livnei vneihem, leman shemo. And we're going to finish with B'Ahava. That's our note. That's home for us. We're going to finish with love. Leman shemo b'Ahava, for the sake of is God's love. Okay? Let me pause here and see if you have any questions or observations. You want me to go over again?
So he could hear what they're
Everybody, da-da-da-dum-pa-pum. Okay, you're all good with that? Nod. Be with us. Okay, good. All right. So we continue. Now it gets a little interesting. Okay, I'm going to give you the very spare version of it, and the Chazan has it up on the SoundCloud. So the next paragraph, you can see, it's going to take us into a much more serious direction, inspired by the insight of sages and the teachings of those who acquired wisdom. I open my lips in prayer and supplication to entreat the sovereign of all sovereigns, the supreme ruler. So you know what's coming over here. What's coming here is we're going to begin to experience a sense of real awe. Okay, and with the awe comes more minor, serious, darker, just like we like it. Okay? Yisod chachamim unevoni, da-da-da-da-da, umilemed da'at mevinim, eftecha fi בתפילה ותחנונים, לכלות ולחנן, למלך מלכי המלכים, ואדוני האדונים. You can see that melody is just, I don't know, it's maybe 4 notes, da 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 da, Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's almost like the da-da-da. Friday night tune. Mavir yom umevi laila. It's almost like that, but just a little different. Okay? So, misod chachamim unevonim umilemed dat mevinim heftech afi utfilah v'tachanunim lechalot ulechanein lemelech malchei amlachim. And you're going to go for that home. Noma, Darunei Hadonim, Lai. And those two notes, Lai, that's the Yontif feeling. That's where we are standing in white. Whenever I hear that melody, it's gefilte fish, it's chicken soup, it's shul, it's fall, it's apples, it's crispy, it's just the fullness of this emotional time. And that leads us into Zochrenu, and she'll do in a second. Okay, so I've sung it for you in the sparest way. I want to just illustrate for you just a little bit how of course you can get very excited about it. The sparest melody, the barest, it's just notes. Da 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 da. Misod chachamim unevonim. So just to give you a taste of what the chazanis is. Okay, I'm not a chazan, but I know how to do this a little bit. Misod chachamim unevonim umilemed dat mevinim heftech afi b'tfilah v'tachanunim lechalot ulechanein lemelech malchei amlachim v'adonei adonim. It ends in the same place, but you can see that's a little more ornamented. That's, it's a little more. You don't need to do that. Just go. Da 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 da. Misod chachamim unevonim umilemed dat mevinim heftech afi b'tefilah v'tachanunim lechalot ulechanein b'nei melech malchei amlachim v'adonei hadonim. And then it goes into Zochreinu lechaim melech hafetz b'chaim v'chotbeinu b'sefer hachayim mancha Elohim chayim. Turn the page, 142. Melech Ozeh Umoshia umagen bahu Ata Adonai magen Avraham. Everyone will say Amen. And so that that's another theme that's going to weave itself all the way through the whole Yom Tov time, and every bracha is going to end with Dai 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 Magen Avraham. Okay? Now, next paragraph is another familiar tune for us. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai v'chayei meitim adarav doshia. Here we go. V'chakel chayim Bechesed, Chayim Meitim, Berachamim Rabim, Somech Novim, Berofe Chorim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato li shenei afar mi chamocha bal gevurot umido melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua. Then it goes into Yichamocha avarachamim zocher yitzurav L'chaim berachamim v'ne'emanata l'chayot meitim baruch atah Adonai. And here comes that motif. Echayeh hametim. Amen. So what's delightful about that, again, is the brightness of it, the brightness of that melody. Hey, la 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 la. Hey, la 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 la. Let's do from Michalkel together. Michalkel chayim bechesed, chayim meitim berachamim rabim. Somech noflim b'rofe chodim u'mahatir asur u'mekayem emunato li shenei afar michamocha bal gevurot u'mido melech memit u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua. Sustain life, God, you sustain life. There's just a wonderful feeling about that. Right? La 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 la. In the regular Shabbat melody, it's, how does it go? Ataki borle alam Adonai mechayim itim Rav lo shiyeh mechalkel chayim bechesed mechayim meitim berachamim rabim. I'm getting mixed up in all my tunes. Okay, so let's stop here and see if you have any questions. Okay, anybody? Anybody? Bum, 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 bum. You here? So, anybody with a question or a comment? You're with me? You got it? I'm going to go through everyone here and see if your thumbs up. Too much.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Too much.
You gotta remember it. It's fine. Okay. So
I'm good when you start, and then I can carry it through. I just can never remember the first couple of notes.
yeah. So this is a problem. I mean, that's only going to happen when you practice a little bit. Okay. And I know that that's a problem because honestly, it happens to me. I forgot the V'chol Maminim, and even if I went over it now, I'd have to I got to really work on it. I keep going back to V'chol Maminim as opposed to the other one. This is about immersing in this. My suggestion is, I don't want to, you're here, so you're taking it seriously. Obviously, it's just. You gotta put this stuff on when you're.
Didn't we used to do it of the V'chol Maminim, V'chol Maminim?
There's tons of tunes. We have two major clusters of tunes, V'chol Maminim, and the other one. So yeah, the way to do this is, you know, take the playlist from the SoundCloud and put your earphones on. And I don't want to say do it in the shower because you don't want earphones in the shower. You don't want to daven in the shower. But, you know, I typically listen to radio or things when I'm doing other things like cooking or you know, involved in other things, walking or driving. And you will find, I mean, I don't know what your listening habits are. You will find that if you can fill the in-between times with these kinds of things, they will sink in. They will say, you know, I'm speaking from many years already of doing this. I learned this when I was quite young. I learned this in my early 20s, even before, because I needed to work. I was a cousin in the town of Kitchener, Ontario, and I'll never forget I learned from a tape. The rabbi made me a tape, and I put it in the tape recorder, and you know, drummed it in. And these tunes are, the tunes that I have are those tunes basically, and they're basically along the lines of the family of high holiday melodies, and these are tunes that I also grew up with. So, and I'll give you one more little vignette, which is that when I got more serious about it, I actually took some, you know, the only voice lessons I ever took, and she was a wonderful teacher, Margaret Khalil, an opera singer in Montreal, and she said she taught me about breath, and to this day, I you know, when I'm aware of it, you really, those of you who are not really, you know, knowledgeable about singing, but you will discover that you'll be quickly knowledgeable about breath. Breathing is the most important aspect of singing, and breathing means you gotta breathe from your diaphragm. You gotta breathe from your stomach, and that's not difficult to learn. And you just push it out with your stomach as opposed to your throat. Okay, you'll get very tired very quickly if you're doing it from your throat. So she said to me, you need to think of yourself like a cello, because I have a baritone bass voice, and she just loved the fact that I had this, you know, rich, deeper voice, and she, you know, she encouraged me to sing a little bit, and she taught me. I said, I really need to learn Kol Nidre, and she said, you know, she said Kol Nidre is a masterpiece piece of music, you know, and she taught me how to do it. And you know, the image that I have still in my mind is you're playing a big cello, right? And it's the breathing, it's the phrasing, it's everything. Of course, that's going, you know, a little bit more. What we need to do is simply learn the basic melodies. And you tell, even if you don't remember, just you wing it. You just sing it. You just go say the first melody that comes to mind, right? That's what you could do. You know, the words are there, and even if the words are difficult for you, so the permission has been given by the rabbis, the tradition, the Almighty. Say it in a language that you know. Just say it. I mean, I'm being too personal here, but this is what kills me. What kills me in the world that we're in is that no other shuls that I know of are making these asks of the people. Sit with the book, open the book and read the book. You know, it's bad that we're not together. It's bad that we're not singing, that we're losing all the emotion. But read it. You'll get something out of it. Hear the melody, read the melody. And if you you know, are inclined in that way, just, you know, click the thing and you got it. That's it. That's all we need to do on that score. So let's jump to the end of the Amida, because this class is the beginning and the ending of the Amidas. And since all the beginnings are basically the same and all the endings are kind of the same, we're going to go to Asim Shalom that's in the end of the Amida. And that is for the Musaf, that is on page 169. 169. Okay? So, there's a melody that I like for this. The Chazan and I have a little debate about it. He's just not here tonight. So when he's here next time and we sing this melody, we'll just rub it in. Okay? I like this melody because it's uplifting. It's the end of the Amida. It's the end of the Shemona Esrei. We're all tired by this time, and this is the let's end it on a good note and go home melody. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Try that. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Then it has a beat part. Archeinu avinu avinu kulanu kulanu keyechad kulanu keyechad v'yor panecha. Back to the refrain. Shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Ki v'yor panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Torat chaim ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka u'bracha ve'rachamim ve'chaim ve'shalom ve'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael Yisrael v'chol heit v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. And then it goes into B'sefer Chaim Meracha V'Shalom U'Farnasa Tova Yizacher V'Nikater Lefanecha Anachnu V'chol Amecha V'et Yisrael L'chaim tovim, shalom. Now, at the end of this Amida, there are a number of verses that can be chanted, or said or recited, and then it goes into Hayom 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 Hayom, which we did. Okay, and the final thing, you could even skip the last paragraph, just end with the last Bracham Baruch Atah Adonai. Shalom. Well, that's a little fancy. You can just go Baruch Atah Adonai Oseh Shalom. That's our signature. Die, 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 die. So I know it's a lot to ask of, to learn these melodies, but they're in you already. They're already there, and it's just a matter of getting access to them. However, whatever is going to take to jog your memory. And the first machzor I used, I was full with notes. I almost made a Torah trope sign for each thing. We're not. I don't want you to write in these machzors, but you can certainly write on notes here. And look, you have the opportunity to not only sing it, but to say it, and then I would say you're totally, if you gravitate to the melodies that you're familiar with and say, look, I don't remember this melody, but I know it's really nice. We'll say it in English. That's fine too. That's really, really okay. We're all trying our best. We're all trying to do this. Okay, let me put it on the unmute and see if you have any questions or reactions. Anybody?
What's some basic notes? Steer.
No? I'm muting everybody. I get everybody quiet. All right. I know that we like to discuss the way the music reflects things, and that's I think very subjective reactions. I'd like to my own curiosity is for you. What does the music convey to you? What kinds of emotions or colors do you get? I'll give you one anecdote, which is we had a guest chazan years ago, Moti Fuchs. Really enjoyed him. Israeli guy, and in my conversations with him, he said, he when he's singing, he sees a lot of colors in his mind, and when you talk to chasanim or musicians, you get that, they talk in that kind of language. They're in a certain place when they sing. I'll never forget one time, he was singing something, and I wanted, it wasn't the melody the congregants were familiar with, and it was almost like I interrupted him and said, "Sing this one, do this one," and at the end of the service, he just was so angry at me. And we were good friends. He was so angry at me, and he said in Hebrew, "Yitzchak," he called me Yitzchak. "You have to understand, I think about it. I think about it. It's in my head. It's in my head. I understand. I map it all in my head. You changed everything for me at that moment." I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that for you. Da, da, da. So I understand there's a lot of, every chazan, has a certain kind of, unique approach to this. But for us who are, in the congregation, we're singing along, it has emotions for us too. It has something to us. So the question for you is, if anyone wants to kind of volunteer here, what it does for you, and then we'll go back to review and we'll end it. Anybody what do these melodies do for you?
Like a couple basic notes,
Yep.
basic notes for some of the melodies so I could practice it on the piano.
Yes.
And in Hebrew using the prayer book.
Right. Do they give you any memories? Do you have any memory when you sing that, when you hear Zohreinu or Bechol Bechol da, da, da?
You know it's Yantav.
It's Yantiv. It just feels Yantiv. What is that?
It's my grandparents and my great-grandparents.
There you go. So solemnity.
I remember you said that you were going to give us a plan A, B, and C, but I haven't been able to access that from the shul website.
They're not up there yet. We'll get them.
Okay.
My deadline is next week. I can send you the draft. So yeah, these things evoke all of these different kinds of feelings. Okay, and that's that. All right.
I remember when our house in Elizabeth on Melmore Avenue, New York Parkway.
Here?
There was a man.
There we go. Okay, let me pin myself again. You'll see my face. There we are. All right, so I'm going to go back to the beginning. We're going to review what we did tonight, the first part of the Shemona Esrei and the last part. And I want you to sing with me. Turn to page 141 if you have it. If you don't have it, just try and hum along and think about these different melodies and these different kinds of very simple notes. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Agadol Agibor Vehanora El Elyon Omel Chasadim Tovim V'koneh הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, יסוד חכמים ונבונים, ומלמד דעת מבינים, הבטחה פי בתפילה ותחנונים, לחלות ולכנם, מלך מלכי המלכים, ואדוני האדונים, זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, וחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, לכלכל לחיים וחסד, וחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ורחמים, ונהנתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני לחיי המתים. I feel the chill already because we're standing before God, and God is the one who gives life to the dead, and that's what it's saying. And go to the end of the service now, back to Shalom Tova Uvracha, Ein v'chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, Amecha, Barchenu Avinu Avinu, Kulanu Kulanu ki echad, Kulanu Kulanu ki echad v'yohanecha, Ki v'yor panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, Torah chaim ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka u'bracha, ve'rachamim ve'chaim ve'shalom ve'tov ve'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol lech ובכל שעה בשלומך, שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, עמך, בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום, ופרנסה טובה, ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, אנחנו בכל עמך בית ישראל, לחיים טובים, לחיים טובים, ולשלום. And that's how it goes. I have 5% left on my battery here, and I can't find my cord. So that's not a good thing. Let me just unmute everybody. Just get some final comments here. Everybody okay with this? All right.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Thank
All right. So we'll see you next week. We're doing Monday and Thursday again. Monday and Thursday next week.
On the questions, I want to just go through a few things. I don't know if you realize from your book.
So we got next week. We're putting it all together. We're putting the Rosh Hashanah Musaf together. That's Monday and Thursday. Believe it or not, Yom Kippur 10 top melodies. We'll be doing things like and Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha and all that stuff. Okay? So have a good night, everyone. Look forward to seeing you in Yashikov again. You're terrific. Okay. Be well. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night.